had a dream to take a storage room and turn it into my dream creative studio. I wanted it to be a place that inspired me to illustrate and tell stories about the bunny and bear. Creating magic in a place that's magical seems logical. I wanted it to be extremely functional and tailored to the needs of running an art business, as well as give me the space to explore and experiment. But with all of this dreaming, I didn't realize how much time creating this space would take, nor did I imagine the lessons I learned along the way. I hit my budget with my time and money, and I'm left with a half-empty room. I hated that the process took so long. I thought that there was something wrong with me because I couldn't accomplish what I've seen done so many times before on HGTV and YouTube, huge makeovers done in a week. I was my worst critic, and I continued to beat myself up until I let go and realized that maybe my expectations were unrealistic. They were. I've compared myself, a single artist who's never made quality furniture before, with a tight budget to projects full of people and a much larger bank account. So here we are, in the middle of progress and chaos. I've decided to quietly open my shop and set up the beginning of my space. I'm going to save all the details of building this space for my later videos, but today I wanted to share a brief moment of appreciation as I take my time to admire the work I've put into building everything and all of the art I've created. I realized that with all of this building, I never once felt comfortable sharing my products or the work that went into it. I felt dirty for sharing because selling is dirty. But throughout this year and all the years I've spent growing out of unsupportive old habits, I found this quote by Darren Hardy, who wrote The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster, which I highly recommend. He says, "I had always thought of sales as a way to get something. I could now see it as a tool for giving. For the first time, I began to understand the strange, wonderful irony that sales isn't about selling at all. Don't sell, give in exchange for value." There's so much more to that, more meaning that we can spend hours talking about, but after reading that book, I started to get excited about sharing my work and my intentions for each product I designed, because I wanted each and every product I make to be a spark of something for somebody. I didn't just want to make beautiful things. I want to make beautiful things that encourage us to make our lives filled with a little more heart, to live through fear, to build our courage muscles and grow through uncomfortable situations. For example, this print of the bunny hiding underneath the leaf while the bear gently encourages the bunny to move through fear and reveal her crown. A crown that she adores wearing but doesn't because of what others may think of a bunny in a crown. This illustration is about pushing past what others think of us so that we may know our own power. This print, a limited edition, so once it's gone, it won't be made with the emblem on the back like this anymore, was one of my very first illustrations of the bunny and bear, reinterpreted. I wanted to tell a story that encouraged us to take our time, and to do that, I imagined the building of the sky, of all the stars that are there and how they got there. And although this isn't based on science or is accurate, but I imagined the bunny and bear working together to build their sky with a cart full of stars. And they got to place the star with their own willpower and thought. They decide where each star goes and how far apart each are to each other. I wanted this illustration to remind us of our ability to change or live one star at a time. This image on this tote bag, my very first tote bag and only tote bag for now, which was so stressful to make, full of manufacturing problems, but one of the products I'm more proud of because it was the first thing I designed that wasn't a pin, sticker, or print. In the original illustration, which was made with color, the bear was too blinded by its many thoughts to see the beauty that surrounded him. And so the bunny, knowing this, picked one tulip and gave it to the bear to focus on, allowing the bear to finally see through his heavy mind and be present in the beauty of the field of flowers. This print is sometimes what it feels like, with anxious, heavy thoughts, obsessive, focused on something we're thinking of that doesn't allow us to see the beautiful things that are currently around us. And this pin, I can't say it's one of my favorites because as I go through my inventory and set up this space, each and every piece makes me pause and smile. But this one seemed like a simple concept, but I remember how hard it was to not feel guilty when I needed to rest. Sometimes I know I was tired, but being productive and being seen as productive was more important than listening to my own body. I was so afraid of other people judging me based on what I did or didn't do and then criticize me. And so I illustrated a story in which the bear encourages the bunny to rest in order to make space for inspiration, as inspiration cannot join us if we don't make space. And so this represents how rest is necessary and is okay. I didn't want this to be a super long video, and maybe I can do something that goes in depth a little more in the future, because it's so cool to see not only what I made, but what the story was behind each product, and beyond that, behind each illustration. So I'll save the details for a later video and keep this shorter and more like a, hey, hello, I'm back again type of a thing. The truth is, I really only wanted to resurface after achieving all my goals perfectly. But this journey has taught me that life is lived through small moments and never-ending progress. You keep showing up despite how messy things are. I have been building my sky one star at a time, just as I mentioned 5 years ago in one of my very first videos, not knowing what that meant and uncovering the meaning as my life unfolded. And I want to leave you with this reminder, as sometimes I need to hear it myself. It's okay that sometimes plans fail, fall short, or change. It's okay if things don't work out exactly how you pictured it. Embrace where you are now and take the time to appreciate the progress you've made. With all of that said, I hope you visit my website, read all the product descriptions, that's where I wrote the stories, and enjoy exploring. Even if you don't buy anything, that's absolutely fine. As a thank you for sticking with me all this time, almost everything is on sale until the end of January, giving you time to take your time. I'll be working on so many things in the future, and I can't wait to share it all with you. Until next time, bye.